Yo, it's Coach Reese with Kzoo Boxing. I hope you guys are doing well. All right, so first time at a boxing gym, you're gonna ask me, Coach, what gear should I get? And I'm gonna just look at you crazy as I contemplate this answer. Let's go ahead and start with our footwear. If you're gonna buy some boxing shoes, you'll probably want to start. I'm gonna just do one pair. You'll want to start with the supercharged Title boxing shoes. Great thing about these shoes is that they're durable. They're a little bit stiffer than most boxing shoes, but that allows them to be a little bit more durable. You're gonna get a little bit more use out of them. Okay. These are gonna run you about 80 bucks. If you wanted something a little bit lighter, you can go with these Encore. These Encore Echoes. You'll see it in the top right corner. But these shoes are a lot lighter. Now they're not as durable for that reason, but what you sacrifice in durability, you get a more fleet of foot. These are a lot more closer to the wrestling shoes that you can get, but you're gonna get a little bit more ankle support. So those are our footwear shorts. All right, next item, hand wraps. Right here, real simple. You can just go to Dick's Sporting Goods and grab their Everlast Elite hand wraps. You're gonna want to get 180-inch wraps, 180. The way that I show how to wrap hands, you need the longer wrap. If you're younger or got smaller hands, you may need something a little bit smaller, but these are gonna be the way to go. These are nice, flexible. They're gonna mold to your hand a lot better. If you don't want to wrap your hands, or if you just don't have the time to practice, which I don't know why you're making excuses already, you can do these quick wraps. These are pretty much just a glove with a knuckle padding. You're gonna put these on underneath your boxing gloves. They're nice because they're very quick. You can just quickly slide them on real quick. Only downside to them is that they're not molding to your hand as much as a actual traditional wrap is. So with that being said, pick your poison. Don't be lazy. Actually get some wraps, practice them. Later on down the line, I would suggest getting a pair of these in case you just need to throw them on real quick. All right, boxing gloves. So what you want to start with are these Everlast Power Lock gloves. Now, you can really start with whatever boxing glove, but if I had to pick a first pair of gloves, these are going to be the way to go. The reason being is that, one, Everlast made them. They're going to be a little bit cheaper, and their overall design is a lot more attractive, or at least in my eyes. The hook right here allow you to get good leverage, so you can really get a lot of good wrist support here. Everlast sometimes make their glove that folds in like this, which can be a little jarring. It's gonna make your fists line up like this. You want something that's gonna allow you to have some flexibility so you can keep your fists aligned, so when you're making your impact, you're gonna actually be able to punch like a man or a woman, but you're gonna have a good punch technique with these gloves. These are some heavy mofos, but they're extremely durable. They're very comfortable. Again, the only downside of that, they're just a bit heavier, but they're gonna last you a good minute. Another good follow-up are these rival gloves. Let's see, they're the RB50s. These are bag gloves. They're very comfortable. They're very flexible. They're very worn in as well. They have a little vent system. These are gonna be a good follow-up gloves once you start getting a little bit more experience. And before I forget, Coach, what ounce gloves should I get? Get whatever ounce gloves you want. The only time where your ounces really matter is if you got a pair of sparring gloves. You have to have 16 ounces for sparring. For your general training, they can be 10, 14, they can be 8. It don't really matter, but for sparring, you want to have 16-ounce sparring gloves. Headgear. So, headgear that you're gonna wanna start with are these AeroVent headgear. These are really awesome. Make sure to get the open face, so essentially there's no sheet protection. Great thing about these headgears is that the back is Velcro. A lot of headgears come with a lace in the back. That, it's cool, but that doesn't really mold to your head, and it takes forever to take off. With this, you just hurry up, peel that off. Another great thing about the AeroVent headgear they are certified for competition. So, get this headgear to start. You may not want to compete right away, but if that ever does change, you're already a step ahead. You got your headgear that you need. Honorable mention, you probably see these all the time, are these Sting headgear. These very official looking headgear. They're a bit more pricier. These AeroVents go for about 80 to 100. These go for about 160. But they're very comfortable. They're very sleek looking. They can be a little weird to wear at first, but once you start messing around with it and you adjust it accordingly, you're gonna like these. Last, most important thing you're gonna need if you're ever thinking about sparring is a mouth guard. And of course, I didn't buy a new one, but that's all right because it's clear. It's real simple. You get these from Walmart. They're probably about $5. They're clear. They're very comfortable. They're not overly designed. That's the big part of it. There's a lot of Shock Doctor mouth guards that you could potentially buy, but the steps to molding them to get them to be fixed to your top row of teeth can be a little bit complicated. This, all you do is just get some boiling water, drop it in there, about what, 10, 12 seconds. The instructions are on the back, by the way. You drop it in there, take it out, rinse it, bite down, and you do it until the mouthpiece is fixed to your top row of teeth. And the great thing about it is that if you don't do it right the first session, you can just go back and do it again. So make sure you get you a mouth guard. Just go to Walmart. You're only gonna find these at Walmart. If you have braces, you can go to Myers. You can get they're usually blue or pink, but they're mouth guard. They usually have a slot for the top and bottom row. You don't have to mold those. You just pop around your mouth and you get to work. The only issue is they're a little uncomfortable, but hey, beggars can't be choosers.